I would like to share with you today how God delivered me from a 25-year cigarette addiction. My addiction started when I was 15 years old. Earlier that year, my dad had passed away, and I'm sure I was going through some troubled times, and it just seemed to be a cool thing to do back then, so I just started smoking. But anyway, I want to fast forward from there 25 years later. And I want to say during those 25 years, I'd either been married to my wife or been dating her all 25 of those years, and she had never smoked, and she didn't like me smoking at all. And I know there were several times during those years that she had asked me to quit, and I had tried to quit several times, but 2 times in particular I had quit for a few months each time, but I had never really got over the addiction of the cigarettes. And even though I was quit, I still had that urge all the time to be smoking, and I even wanted to be around people that were smoking so I could get some of the secondhand smoke. And it just wasn't going to work, and it didn't take much for me to start again. But anyway, after 25 years, I had a birthday coming up, and it was going to be my 40th birthday, and about 3 months before my birthday, and my wife and I were having this discussion again about me quitting, and with good reason. I knew it was bad for my health. My children were 5 and 8 years old at that time, and it just stunk up the house anyway. But anyway, I told my wife that, I've got a birthday coming up, 40 years, and I'm really going to give it a good try. And I've got 3 months to try to figure out how I can do this. But anyway, about a month and a half had rocked along, and I was up one morning, and I was in the bathroom, and I had just smoked a cigarette, and I laid my pack down on the counter, and I got finished getting cleaned up and getting dressed, and I was going to leave the bathroom, and I picked up that pack, and I realized that it was the last cigarette I had smoked, and it was empty. So I just crumbled up in my hand to throw it in the trash, but when I did, something in my spirit told me that I had such a bad addiction to these things that I wasn't going to be able to do this on my own, and I better just stop and pray about it. Well, anyway, I turned and threw that cigarette pack in the trash, and that's what I did. I just turned and I just told God that how bad my addiction was to these things, and how I'd tried to quit on my own, and there was just no way I could. I always wanted one every day that I wasn't smoking. And I said I'd promised my wife on my 40th birthday that I would try to quit, and I knew it wasn't good for my health, and I just knew it wasn't going to work without His power. And I told Him, I said, there's just no way I can do this without your help, Lord. It just can't be done. I've already tried it too many times. And I kind of finished my prayer up like that, and I was going to continue praying about it all the way until my birthday. But at that moment, I heard a voice, and God told me at that time, He said, you will not need another cigarette from this moment on. And it just kind of shocked me, because He had never answered a prayer like that to me before, and I didn't know what to really think. But I knew something had happened, because I could actually feel my desire for the cigarettes to just left me. And I was just standing there really excited, so I just ran and got my wife and told her. I said, Linda, this is what I just prayed, and this is what happened. And we both just sat and praised the Lord, and we knew that He was going to take care of my problem, which I couldn't do. And I just thank Him for that all the time. And let me say, this is how great our God is. He not only took from that moment on the desire for me to smoke, but ever since that moment till now, I've hated to be around cigarettes. I couldn't stand to be around smoke or people that smoked. Now, I want to say this, and I don't know the reason why He answered my prayer like He did, but I want to go back and tell you that when I was 15 years old, and I told you my dad had died earlier that year, and he had passed away with lung cancer. He had been a smoker all of his life, and my dad was 42 years old. And I also want to say that my mom smoked all of her life, and she died of lung cancer. So really, I think that the Lord maybe saw something in my near future that if I wasn't going to quit these things, I may not be here that much longer. So I truthfully think today that He not only helped me quit smoking, but I think it's the reason I'm alive here today, that he maybe saw something in my future. And I think I'm here because he had more work for me to do in his kingdom here on earth. And I believe that to this day, and I thank him so much for not just helping me quit smoking, but for my life. And I think that's why I'm here today. And my name is Randy Goetz, and this is my place at Addington Baptist Church, and my God is big enough.